Hello and welcome to the next Esper, which is going to be Zeromus. In order to get to Zeromus, you need an item from Mount Armlet. I don't remember exactly who it is you talk to get it. It's an Acolyte. I don't remember if it's this one or another one though. So we're going to quickly wander about in a somewhat unprofessional manner. There's probably this guy because he mentioned it. So we get the Stone of the Condemner. This Esper is available obviously after the events at Mount Armlet. It cannot be done prior because it requires that particular Acolyte to give you the Stone of the Condemner, and he will not do that until this place has been attacked. Now, in order to use the Stone of the Condemner, as you probably figured out, we need to go to the Still Shrine of Miriam, as he mentioned prior. This particular Esper blocks out your access to your magic command, which unfortunately includes, I think, the techniques. It may just block the Magicks, but I think it blocks this command, which blocks out techniques as well. Could be mistaken. Regardless, for some reason that wolf is slightly transparent. I don't really know why. Because of the fact that you cannot use magic, you are going to need a particular setup with your party. I'll go ahead and show it to you. I'm going to be using Van, Balthier, and Fran. Balthier and Fran are equipped with, let's go ahead and show equipment, are equipped with Mirror Mail, and she has a Ruby Ring. Van will be equipped with a second Ruby Ring to give him Reflect as well. I'm just going to see if we can steal from the boss before I do that. Now, the reason you want Reflect is because it makes the boss a lot easier. He casts Sloga and Stop. Now, Reflect makes you immune to those because they are magic and they will be reflected back. It also doesn't matter because we can't use magic, so we're not using magic to heal ourselves, so the Reflect is just a defensive measure. Our gambits are set up the same for everyone except for the stuff at the bottom. We will be buffing prior to going into the room. I probably should buff with haste, but because I'm using Fran, I will not have access to haste, but I would recommend utilizing haste. We're going to do without it. But otherwise, we're using X potions and Phoenix Downs, lowest max HP and stuff. I'm actually going to adjust these down slightly, because Balthier has the Pheasant Netsuke, or however that's pronounced, which allows him to be a better healer than the other two with items. But anyway, this is our gambits. Just those four. We'll see how it goes. Whoa, the controller is freaking out there. Anyway, we do have to make our way down to the Still Shrine. It's not much of a travel. I could cut it out, but I'm not going to, because that would be the logical thing to do. And we don't do logical around here. Really, it's not very far, so it doesn't matter. And we kill everything in one hit anyway, so we're just gonna quad speed our way over there. There's the airship spot, by the way, if you happen to fly the airship over here. Not a bad landing spot, dead center of the zone, very accessible. I don't care about MP usage for these three party members. Well, I don't care at all, but specifically I don't care because they're not going to be used for this boss fight. If our main party of three falls, we are going to utilize this group of three to try and get Phoenix Downs off on them. But otherwise, they're not going to do anything except probably a quickening chain or something like that. Now, the boss itself isn't that hard. The difficulty with this fight comes from the fact that there are a large number of additional enemies in the area. So you can get worn down very, very quickly if you can't keep the crowd thinned. Anyway, these people haven't said anything new because, you know, dreadful things, etc., etc. But let's make our way in here. Now, the enemies here have changed. Once you go through the story segment of the Mount Armlet area, the enemies within here have changed. These red balls are still the same. There's a new rare enemy down below, and there are new enemies here over yonder land, as you can see. This is your hint that something has changed, are these new enemies over here. These enemies are something like level 46 to like 80 or something, depending on the area you fight them in. Relatively low here, it's not too bad. But that's your sign that something has changed, and because we have the Stone of the Condemner, I believe we have the option, there we go, to use it on this waystone, which will take us to Zeromus. Well, it'll take us near Zeromus, and then we can, you know, do our deal. I think it takes us near, not straight into the fight. Yeah. So the fight's in there. We're not going to do the fight with this group, we're going to do it with these three. So we'll get them out, get them buffed up. It'll take a bit, because Fran's going to... Oh, right. Fran can't do any buffing because everyone is immune, or, has to reflect on them, so she'll just do that forever. Anyway, let's fix this real quick with Opal Ring. Yes, she can't wear the Opal Ring. Let's fix this quickly by allowing her to wear the Opal Ring and then giving it to her, because I need to do this at some point anyway. Where is Opal Ring? There it is. No, equip Fran, Opal Ring. There's easier ways to do this probably, but we're just gonna do this for now. Opal Ring allows you to pierce reflect, so you can put an Opal Ring on your healer and then have everyone in your party hit with reflect anyway to defend yourself against magical attacks, but still allow yourself to heal with magic. That is irrelevant in this case because the whole we can't actually attack with magic, so that should be all of the protect. Regions and stuff, those will wear off during the fight, but it doesn't matter too much. Just doing them for an easy buff at the start here. Ruby Ring. Blaze Bomb. And in we go. I'm going to manually attempt to steal if I can. If the option is blocked out, I'm just going to give Vaughn a Ruby Ring and we'll see how it goes. But here is Zeromus. Zeromus, however it's pronounced, I don't know. He's got a weird crab arm. But I think there's a game called Zeromus EG or something like that. So we can still steal. There's going to be a large quantity of enemies in this area, so just bear that in mind. Let's go ahead and try and steal from him real quick. And then fix Vaughn's equipment because he no longer needs those. And then we are going to quickly throw a Dispel Mote if you have one available. That is fantastic in here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a Dispel Mote at him to get rid of Shell and Protect. He'll put it up again at some point, but Dark Lords are what spawn in here. They will spawn large amounts of them. And I do mean large amounts, but this is the whole boss fight. Open the fight with Quickenings, if you so desire to. Would recommend highly, but I'm gonna do this the slow way to show you everything. I forgot his auto attack causes stop as well, so let's fix our gambits real quick. He casts stop, but I forgot his auto attack is also capable of causing stop, so I need to briefly fix our stuff here. So ally any, and then we need to use Chronos Tears to get rid of that. Or Chronos Tear. I always say Chronos Tear. I don't know if it's Tear or Tear. I don't know if it matters, but you know, you guys know what I'm talking about with these items. I think I forgot to activate Vaughn's. I wish they started activated, but that's okay. You might notice we have a large quantity of these items that are usable, so. There you go. We'll be using X potions to keep ourselves alive, but we need to keep... That's all the spells being cast, by the way. We need to keep our enemy horde thinned out a bit, because otherwise we'll be in a bit of a pickle with the amount of damage that we take. But this is the fight. If you're in danger, or you feel threatened, or you're not me trying to showcase what happens in boss fights, I would recommend utilizing a quickening chain when there are several Dark Lords spawned to thin the army, basically. But otherwise, this is basically it. You can also, and I would highly recommend this, take your battle speed all the way down to 1. Especially since you can up the game speed and make it not feel nearly as slow. The reason I say this is because item usage has a charge time of 0. As you can see, we can instantaneously use items. However, the enemies, and the Esper included, aren't using items. They're using spells and attacks, which have charge times which are affected by the battle speed modifier. So you can, as the player, set your battle speed all the way down to nothing, and then just do this. Put the game at quad speed and let the game sort itself out. That's pretty much all that will happen here. Now when Zeromus reaches 50%, which he's not quite at yet. Excuse me, why did that go through my reflect? I want a refund. There he goes. When he reaches 50% HP, he will use Greater Barrier on himself, which he has done, which will give him Protect and Shell again. Piercing Graviga does half damage instead of quarter damage, by the way. Pretty much all I wanted to point out. Where is my... Did I pass it? I must have passed it. Where's my Dispel at? I guess I didn't pass it. There it is. Only one more Dispel mode, so hopefully he doesn't put it back up. I don't remember if he does. Did that just miss? Something missed. Probably slow or something, I don't know. Toxify, actually, now that I'm thinking about that. Anyway, this is basically the whole fight. Oh, we're stopped. Excuse me. I think something like 50 Dark Lords or something like that will spawn within this boss arena. So what, you always got haste. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I cannot remove haste because I don't have the thing to do it anymore. You can also use Guild Toss if you want to throw a Guild at him. That's basically the whole fight, though. I'm going to utilize a Stega emote. Is Fran in range? She is. The haste mote will do nothing for our item usage. It will just speed up our attacks, which we'll lose the haste constantly anyway, so it's just kind of irrelevant. In fact, I think I may have lost the haste instantaneously, or it just didn't apply. Not sure. Did I give the boss haste? Who knows? This is the whole fight. I don't think the boss gets anything special. By the way, I have noticed that the reflect is doing nothing for stop, by the way. Turns out the boss ignores reflect. Doesn't matter, we're not getting hit with what is it, Toxify? I don't know, whatever the Dark Lords are using, we're safe from via Protect anyway, so it's fine. So this is the whole boss fight. I don't think he gets anything. Maybe he gets CT0 when he reaches critical health. It certainly seems that way. So since he has CT0 at this point, there's no reason to have the battle speed low anymore. Because all that's doing is hurting us, because his attack speed is now 0. So there you go. Zeromus can be fought and defeated at a fairly low level. However, I recommend having at least 2,000 health. Otherwise, you'll have quite a bit of difficulty, but it's not too bad. If you have a Pheasant Netsuke or 3, that would also be much easier. Pheasant Netsuke plus all the Phoenix lures allows you to revive at full HP, which is pretty good. Basically a rise, but at 0 MP cost. It's pretty good. There you go. Now the reason I used these 3 party members is because I believe they are the ones with the potion lures, so they get the most out of the X potions. At the very least, Archer and Machinist are very good item users. I believe Ninja is also a very good item user. That is what Fran, or god damn it. Let's just swap our party out. We don't have to deal with that. There's nothing else here, I don't think. There's no items or anything. It's literally just the Esper fight. Big ol' lovely arena to fight him in. But there you go. That is Zeromus. The only thing left to do here, of course, is leave for the next Esper. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time.